What up? What up? It's Pastor G. I'm excited. Man, I want to drop something on you in this season of your life. You are ready. It's your time. Get ready to do some great things. But I want you to hear this. Don't abuse your favor. Yeah, that's right. Don't abuse your favor. And I'm talking about the favor of God that you are wearing right now. Let me explain what that is. The favor of God is the acceleration factor in your life. It's the influence of God that is in your life. And also it's the ability of God in your life. Don't abuse your favor. Now, let me tell you what abuse is. Abuse is something used for purposes in which it was not created for. We've all lived an abused life because we lived and done things that people thought were great things for us to do, but they were not actually what we were created for. Now, the favor of God is God's acceleration factor on your life. It's God's influence in your life, and also it's God's ability on your life. Now, how do I abuse my favor? Well, let me explain. It's when you defer, when God has given you the acceleration time in your life and you defer because you don't want to offend. It's when you defer. You take a step back when God says it's time to accelerate. But because you don't want to offend people, you start slowing down. You start dumbing down. You start saying, I'm just going to wait. Don't abuse your favor. Number two is the influence of God. How do I abuse that favor? It's when I'm quiet, when I know I've got the answer. Because I've heard you got to be humble. Well, don't abuse your favor because meek ain't weak. When you have the answer and you have the favor of God and God has given you the answer to a situation, you cannot be quiet any longer. That is the abuse of your favor of influence. Now watch this. Number three is the ability of God. You know what to do and you know how to do it. But because someone else is in position, you don't use your ability to accomplish. That is called the abuse of your favor. Now, please hear me and hear me very closely. Jesus says something very powerful, and this is Jesus speaking in John chapter 9, verse number 4. He says this, I must work the work. Interesting, because when God favors you, he favors you for a season and a time. This is why it's so important that you don't abuse it. You be about it because it won't last always. Listen to Jesus again. John chapter 9, verse number 4. He says, I must work the work of him that sent me while it is day. For when night cometh, no man can work. Let me unpack. See, day is a sign or a picture of revelation, illumination, and information. In other words, he says when you have the favor of God that accelerates, when you have the favor of God of influence, and when you have the favor of God of ability, he's just giving you revelation, information, and illumination. You got to go to work. You cannot abuse those moments by saying, I will defer, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to watch, I'm going to make sure somebody else gets that. You will be abusing your favor because there is a time and a season for you to be busy. God has placed you in the spotlight for such a time as this. This is your time to be busy. Please don't abuse your favor. There are people that are waiting on you to step up to the plate. God has favored you. Once you have found favor with God, as Jesus did in Luke chapter 2, you get favor with men. Don't abuse your favor. Walk in the acceleration of God. Walk in the influence of God. And most definitely use God's ability to accomplish. As I always say, and I'm going to say it again, now go be great.